All right, Brian Norman is the WBO welterweight champion on Saturday. He will defend his title against Derrieck Cuevas. That will be the co-main event of the show, headlined by Michaela Mayer's rematch against Sandy Ryan. And a member of the Fighting Norman family. Your dad, of course, Brian, boxed professionally in the early 2000s and then came back last month. It was good to go back in the ring last month. What was it like to be in your 20s and watching your dad in a professional boxing ring?
It was a very great experience. It was a funny experience because he looked like me, walked like me, fight like me, and everything. But he just got 21 years on me. So I just seen myself in the future, and it was a hilarious visual.
What was it like training with him for that fight, being around him? I'm imagining like the old Duke versus in Rocky Balboa scene with the old man when Rocky's old, saying we got to build some hurting bombs here, power bombs. What was it like to kind of train with him?
Sure, to be real, it's actually very, very easy. Simply because the boy he be working. You feel me? Like I see where I get it from. I see where I get my attitude, my determination, and just straight up work ethic from. And it wasn't a struggle, literally at all. Like it was just he haven't fought in 14 years, and at the snap of a finger, he just switched everything up, started eating right, drinking water, training how he's supposed to train, getting his miles in, just that quick. So I feel like if he could do that 45 at the drop of a dime, I could do it right now every day.
Yeah, I'm 45 and I can't do that at the drop of anything. That's for sure. You worked the corner for that fight, right?
Yes, sir.
So what was that like being kind of, guiding your dad through one of his fights?
It was a very uncomfortable feeling simply because I'm used to being in the ring. And it's like, of course, I see things on the outside and I want to physically do it, but I can't do it. So I got to tell somebody else to do it. So it's like playing the game, but the control is not all the way. You're not all the way in control at the same time. So it was a little difficult, but at the same time, he still did his thing. He still did what he was supposed to do. So that part was still cool.
So is it one and done for Ryan Norman Sr., or might we see him like on one of your undercards in the future?
No, he done, man. He 45. He just had to prove a point real quick, prove a point to everybody else and to himself and me. So he got the point across. Go ahead and wrap it up, man. You cool.
So his last fight before that was back in 2011. You were, of course, much younger. Do you have any memories of his fighting days back then?
Actually, I don't remember any at all. I think I was too young. And then even in 2011, um, I can't even remember that fight. Probably didn't watch it or anything. But no, I actually he said I seen him like when I was young, but for the most part, I just seen him in the gym.
Hmm. He fought in a lot of interesting locations back then, including at the Playboy Mansion. I'm hoping that he has told you some kind of story about that, some story about fighting at the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah, he told me about he played at the Playboy Mansion, but it's not even about him. It's about my uncle. He got a funny story about how he took a girl that he was talking to the Playboy Mansion instead of his brother, and still to this day he hold that against my pops or whatever. Simply because like you gonna take a girl to the Playboy Mansion, but not your own your brother. So yeah, he's still mad about that.
I would be too. Who takes a
Yeah,
girl to the Playboy Mansion? That there's a sand to the beach metaphor that could be used.
exactly. Understandable. Understandable.
I would hold that against him to this day. I mean, that's brutal. That's absolutely
Yeah.
brutal. You obviously don't have any memories of those days, but like, did his presence in boxing, him being a fighter, how much did that influence you getting into boxing?
That was the biggest influence. Like I said, I seen him in the gym the whole time. Like where I was at, like it was a chair like this. I'm sitting there right here. It was right here in front of the gym, in front of this heavy bag. And I just remember this swole, muscle bound dude just non-stop, just hitting the bag, never getting tired, just steady working, going to the ring sparring. And it was just the work ethic I seen and like, he had 4 kids at 21, me being the baby. So it was just like, dang, he got all of this going on, but yeah, he's still right here. Matter of fact, he got all of us at the gym with him. So it's like no matter what, boy, you can get this work in. So no, it was a big old motivator. And then he taught me to keep my life simple because, like I said, he had 4 kids at 21. So, like, of course, he's still working, but he can't do as much as he wanted to. So now I took all the knowledge he gave me, I applied it to myself. I keep everything simple. I got all my focus on boxing, nothing else at all. So I'm fully gassing it, and I thank you for being the champion today.
Boxing is a grind. There's a lot of politics involved, a lot of highs and lows. Was your father always supportive of you kind of following in his footsteps?
Most definitely. Like in the beginning, he was still with it, but it was a little iffiness on it simply because we get punched in the face for a living. Let's be real. So he was like, he was kind of worried about that, but he didn't push me away from it. He just said, okay, we're gonna focus on defense first. So the first thing we did was get my feet right and then defense. So we didn't start off punching, it was all about feet and defense first. And now, we got everything. We got the full package.
That's smart. Avoid to avoid the challenges of boxing. A
Yeah.
great defensive fighter first and foremost.
Mhm.
Yeah, no doubt about that. We haven't seen you in the ring in close to a year. You had that hand injury that caused this fight against Cuevas to be rescheduled. How are you feeling physically? How are you feeling kind of getting back into the ring after a year off?
Shoot, I've been waiting, man. I've been patiently waiting on it. Just ready to get back up in that thing. And shoot, 10 months been too long, man. I'm trying to hurry up for Saturday here to get here, get up out the ring, and hopefully 2 or 3 months later get right back in again.
What is this the last 10 months been like for you kind of outside the ring? Because we all were kind of following along with the Boots. Boots does have a very public mouthpiece, and Eddie Hearn that said a lot of things over the last few months. What have they been like for you? Has anything that's been said about you, about that fight falling apart, has anything bothered you?
The only thing that bothered me is people underestimating me and the power that I have, and it's just like I feel like people underestimate themselves as well. They feel like um other people are better than them, so now nobody else can beat that person. No, they can beat you, but I work hard. I put my dedication and time into the sport and into the game. I study everything I do. I just simply put my time in. So just because you can't do something, don't mean I can't do it. So now I just went right back into the gym, did everything I had to do, and like even with all the time I had off, it was a quote unquote I had off, even with the hand surgery, I was still in the gym. Like for example, my left hand was messed up. I was over here working on my right hand. I didn't like how my right hand looked in my last fight, so it was a blessing that my left hand was taken away from me because now I got nothing but time to focus on the right hand. So just take everything day by day, keep working on yourself. What did I do wrong yesterday? All right, let me go fix that today, and then so on and therefore.
There were a lot of people talking about why that Boots fight didn't come together. Eddie's talked about it. Your management's talked about it. Your father's talked about it. I don't think I've talked to you about it since then, but like from your perspective, what's the biggest reason that fight didn't come together last year?
Eddie Hearn and his bad business. But the option is the fight is still on the table, of course. I don't want to look past my opponent. So I got to take care of my business Saturday with Derrieck Cuevas. He's a very great fighter, very tough fighter. I seen his line of work in the past. It's the reason why he got all these knockouts. And then, of course, he got a unification fight coming up with Stanionis. So, of course, he got a big job to handle as well. So, if anything after that, if he do what he got to do, I do what I got to do. We can make it happen right after that.
When you say bad business, does that come down to money? Like just the offer wasn't what it should be for a fight like that?
It's more to it than just that. Of course, money is the big one, but even like the timeline of it all as well. I want to go deeper into it, but I ain't got all the details. My pops, he real big on all of that. But me, I just care about fighting. But it was pretty much Top Rank already had this fight right here lined up for real. So we was about to sign with this one, and then and then he was about to fight Karen anyway. Then last minute they want to like try to shove that in there. So then I feel like they was trying to real deal like make a narrative about him being the boogeyman. So like it just forced everything into like bad business. It was just like, no, Shawty, we ain't going out like that. You ain't trying. You're not about to force my hand on anything and pay me less, or I already got something lined up anyway. So and you got something lined up, and then it's a guaranteed fight. Also, I believe what is called a mandatory. He
Hmm.
had to do that fight. So no.
When he fought that fight and it was a struggle, and afterwards he said in the ring, like, I'm probably going to go up to 154. Was there any part of you that, like, man, I hope I didn't miss that opportunity. I hope I still get that shot at some point down the line.
That was definitely me. Simply because he is a great fighter, very big name, very big fan base. He got everything. He got everything behind him, and I simply want to take it. So it was just like, and then plus, the talks anyway, all the talks that was going on. So it was just like, dang, it's just like, what if I missed my opportunity that I could have had my big fight? Look at my shirt. I got Marvin Hagler, Timing Hearns.
Mhm.
Like this could have been one of my historic fights that I could have had. So it's just like missing out on opportunity. But he back in the mindset of want to become undisputed at 147, which I am still in as well. So shoot, now everything all fine and dandy, man. We're gonna get this work in.
Were you surprised that he stayed at 47 after being kind of public about, maybe I'm cutting way too hard and it's not working for me? Were you surprised that he stayed there?
I'm gonna say yes and no. I'm gonna say yes. I was surprised simply because the weight part. I be seeing after fights he do be blowing up. Like, I don't think he's the most disciplined fighter. I'm gonna be real with you. So he blowing up after fights, and then the part of me that say no is even despite the discipline part, he got a strong mindset. That regarding I could do whatever, and I actually love that about him. So, nah, I think he'd be down at 47 for a while.
That's still the fight with you and Boots, I think, is still the biggest fight at welterweight. Your names, two Americans. I think it's still a huge, huge event. When you get this fight with Cuevas this weekend, like, do you look at this as an opportunity not just to win, but to kind of send the kind of statement you sent after that Santillan win? Because that was as much a win as like messaging to everybody you're a rival on the big stage. Do you have the same kind of mindset going into this fight?
I got that mindset going with every fight because I always feel like I'm being doubted because I always felt that way in the past. There've been times where I have did my best work possible, but yet people said, "Ah, you got lucky." So with Saturday, I have to do it again, and the fight after that, I have to do it again, and I have a natural chip on my shoulder that everybody's finna get this work.
So if you beat Cuevas on Saturday, will we see you in Atlantic City 2 weeks later for the Boots Stanionis fight?
Nah, I'm gonna pull up. I'm going on vacation, man. I got to hey, I'm going on vacation. I'm running on the beach, man. I'm getting 10 miles in on the beach, man.
I was gonna say Atlantic City can be nice, but I guess in April not so much, not so much there. But
Yeah.
either way, I think it's gonna be down the line. Hopefully, as soon as this summer, it could be a huge fight between you two guys for unification at